Today on Eagle Nation News, Brenna Gibbons gives us an inside look on one development that will help getting to school a little bit easier.
Julia B. Zion highlights a new club filled with some of the most helpful and caring students Prosper has to offer. How will this new club impact the students here at Prosper ISD schools?
Then, later on in the show, Lauren Womack gives us an inside scoop on one development to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Eagle Nation News starts
right now. Good afternoon, Eagle Nation. Today is Wednesday, August 21st. I'm Jordan Ramsey.
And I'm Madison Wells. Now, although it's only the second week of school, it's always important to think about tardies. Now, I'm sure all of you know how crazy it is during morning traffic, especially by the train tracks.
Yeah, I've seen many of my friends be late to school, but thankfully now we're sending over to Brenna Gibbons, who gives us one development that will help make getting to school by the train tracks a little bit faster.
As many of you know, there are often traffic holdups due to the trains that pass through Prosper. The installation of 24-hour cameras in 3 locations surrounding the railroads will be helpful in letting the public know when to expect these delays.
I think it's a good idea because if we'll tell them that the train is coming or alert them, they can plan better and go to another way where it's not train.
These cameras are set up at intersections off Frontier Parkway, First Street, and Prosper Trail.
So the cameras, nothing's recorded, it's just a live feed. They are open to the public. They can get there from the Town of Prosper's webpage, from the fire department webpage. So that way, whether somebody's trying to go somewhere, go to work, they can take a real quick look and make sure that, hey, right now the crossing is open.
The public can access this live stream on prospertx.gov/fire-department. These new cameras will help the community with transportation and traffic from here on out. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Brenna Gibbons, Prosper.
What started off as a normal Saturday evening for 2 teens in Truckee, California, quickly turned into a frightening experience as the teens found a black bear in their kitchen. Thankfully, the bear was shooed off by a sheriff's deputy with the use of her shotgun. No people or bears were harmed.
Striking the computer networks of more than 22 cities in Texas, the ransomware attacks have been on the rise since 2017. Acting as a tactic for easy money, criminal hackers have been encrypting their victims' computers and demanding money, such as Bitcoin. The Texas state government has declined to state which cities have been hacked, but the FBI and Homeland Security are working hard to expose those behind the attacks. Now, Brenna Gibbons is in studio with your Fast Forecast.
Thanks, guys. I'm Brenna Gibbons with your Fast Forecast. Currently, the temperature is 94 degrees and sunny, and with it being Texas, of course, it feels like 101 degrees. We also have a heat advisory in effect until 8 p.m. Moving on to the weekly forecast, the rest of the week will remain in the high 90s, while Monday we're actually going to reach 101 degrees. Every day should be sunny except for this Saturday, which will be partially cloudy. Once again, for your Fast Forecast, I'm Brenna Gibbons. Back to you guys at the desk.
Don't go anywhere, because right after this, Lauren Womack will be in the studio to discuss the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wait, don't leave your trash on the tables. Yes, the custodians are here to clean the school, but they are not here to pick up after you. So please, throw away your trash.
Now we send it over to Lauren Womack with your Talent Talk, sponsored by Corbridge Orthodontics.
Everyone's favorite web-slinging Spidey may no longer be a part of the MCU. Last night, Sony announced the loss of Kevin Feige as the producer of future MCU SpiderMan films, which led to the eventual disagreement between Sony and Disney. Originally, the two studios had a 50-50 deal, planning to split profits in half and both pay half of the expenses needed to make the films. This fell apart after Marvel decided to remove Feige from the MCU. Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man in the franchise, is scheduled for at least 2 more movies. However, his fate and the character's fate are both currently unknown. We will have more as the story develops, but for now, that's all I have for you today. I'm Lauren Womack. Back to you guys at the desk.
With Prosper High School's growing student populations, it's always good to know that someone has your back.
That's right. Julia Bizayon highlights what this group is doing to change lives. Take a look.
Tons of students come to school every single day carrying stress and pressure that nobody knows about. This year, Prosper High School is implementing a program called Hope Squad with the goal of reaching these students.
Long term, what we want is a culture where students feel that their classmates are advocates for them. They can go to them. The Hope Squad is not we don't train a bunch of little counselors. That's not the function of Hope Squad. It's to be out there and be targeting students who they feel they might be sitting alone in the cafeteria during lunch or in the morning, or they look like, if they're typically jovial or happy and they're a little down, they just connect with them and say, hey, is anything going on? Because you never know.
Hope Squad is here with the intention of helping students in need. Whether this be in big ways or small, the goal is to address the physical and mental health effects of stress and pressure among students.
Pressure can affect students just in general. At home, it can make them stress out, it can make them feel alone, and it can make them lack self-confidence. And when this leads to school, you get to school and you feel like you can't tell anyone. We all go through some rough times, but for sure, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that they're not alone and that they can feel that. I don't want it just to be words, I want it to be actions. I want to show people that they're not alone.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Julia Bizayon. Prosper.
Now we send it over to Maggie Hale with your Game Time Sports Update.
Last year, Maddie Whitmire told Jesse and I that Coach Kaufman schedules a hard preseason to ensure the girls are ready for whatever may come their way in district play. This has continued to prove true and was especially seen last night when the Eagles faced off against Byron Nelson. Both teams were ready to compete starting in the first set, keeping this energy all the way to the fourth. Jacobs, Birmingham, and Jefferson are names we won't stop hearing about anytime soon. These are top caliber players who continually show out every game. Jacobs was responsible for the first points of the game, which in turn would lead the girls to a first set victory of 28-26. Moving on to the second set, Byron Nelson was off to a shaky start. The Eagles dominated the game with Jefferson and Ford until point 7 when the Eagles and Bobcats were tied. The rest of the set was a constant toss-up for the lead, but in the end, Byron Nelson took the set 25-15. The third set got rough for Prosper as Byron Nelson really hit the ground running. Eagles lost that set 25-10. In a decisive fourth set, we saw an amazing Lady Eagle comeback, but unfortunately, it proved to happen too late in the game. Prosper lost that set 25-20. We had an amazing crowd at this game, and we're going to need another one on Friday, August 30th, when Prosper takes on Lovejoy at 6:30. If you want to hear more sports like this, be sure to tune in every day for your sports of the week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Now let's take a look at the meeting schedule for the week. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Madison Wells.
And I'm Jordan Ramsey. Live long and prosper.